Hi, my name is Ty Davis, and I'm a technical marketing engineer at GitLab. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about agile portfolio management using GitLab and how your organization can build out structure using the GitLab tool to apply enterprise agile to your company. When we take a look here at Healthcare Provider Incorporated, this is a mock organization that I've set up for this demo. What they've done is they've gone in at the parent level, they've applied the Healthcare Provider Incorporated, so they have their organization at that very highest parent level, or maybe it's an application they have at that parent level, and then they have subgroups underneath that, which you can see here is broken down into 6 different subgroups or 6 different value streams or specialty areas that they are going to break down their agile teams as a part of. There is one spot on this parent group that is a project, and that's labeled PMO management. This is where they're going to have board views and be able to do non-functional portfolio issues that come up for that parent group level. The way GitLab is broken down is you have groups and you can have subgroups underneath that, and then you can have broad projects residing on any of those groups or subgroup levels. When we take a look here at the drop-down menu for a hospital subgroup, you can see that it's broken down into several different other subgroups that are going to be making up the agile teams that all will funnel up to making that hospital specialty move along with whatever functionality, whatever features, or whatever building that is specific to hospital value stream as part of Healthcare Provider Incorporated. At every group level or subgroup level, you have the ability to add in epics. And we can see here that I could filter via a label. In this particular case, we have some strategic themes that the company is looking at, patient satisfaction being one of those. And I can see that I have a couple of specific strategic themes that as a company, we're looking to have better pharmacy turnaround time. Maybe we're looking to integrate the tool Cerner over another tool that we have internally. There's some ACA compliance that we're looking to align ourselves more with. And so we have the ability to create these epics at different levels, in this particular case, the parent group level where we created it. Something else that is a great part of GitLab is that you have a roadmap view. Those epics will be applied to this roadmap view, and you have the choice of giving it a start and end fixed date if you'd like, or you can see here on one of these, this epic here, that it has a start and finish date that's probably being applied via the time frame given in a milestone. And we'll go into milestones a little bit later and what a milestone is, and just a quick what a milestone is it's just a time increment where you can give it a start and a finish date. We can apply or create like sprints, sprint 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is a milestone. In this particular case, that's what this is doing for this epic. Going back to the parent group level, we're going to dive into one of the subgroups, hospital, and then we're working on billing here. The billing team is really trying to build out this feature that's part of the hospital, and patient billing is one of the projects and one of the smaller Scrum or Kanban teams that are doing that. We have 4 teams here, or 4 different areas of billing that are being worked on. Patient billing is where we're going to take a look at and see what this team is doing. Over here, we can go look at the issue list. It gives us a running list of issues once it kicks on over to that area. There we go. And we can see that we have a running list of issues that have been created. This is interchangeable with what some know as user stories. The way we do it in GitLab is we have issues. That's how we classify things that are being worked on, maybe an enhancement, a feature request, or sorry, not a feature request, but an enhancement request, a fix. All done here in the issues. You can also filter through these with the different filter capabilities. Where we're going to go over spend our time is on the board view. And inside the board view, I can set up several different board views. What we're doing is first we're going to do our sprint planning. So I have a backlog full of issues, and I'm going to start applying, taking off my product backlog and putting those issues on specific sprints. So we can see here that we've already done some technical risk assessment, and that is how we've ranked some of our stories. You can see here that we've given weight to a few of them, probably a couple other ones that we need to determine the weight and give that to those issues. But what we could do, start taking these off our backlog. We can assign them to a sprint. We're going to assign these to this specific sprint. Something to note is that you can drag and drop and rank these on the open lane here, which we are classifying as our product backlog. So we can know, what is priority when doing our sprint planning and take from the top of that list. Now that I've done my sprint planning, it's time that our team gets working on what's been applied to sprint 1. And so I can see here I've gone over the dev board. I still have a running backlog of our whole product backlog. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is specify that I just want to see the issues that are part of sprint 1. And it populates that for me. It shows the 4 issues that I applied to my sprint 1 as part of that sprint planning. And now the team can either, if we're a self-organizing team, or if we're having product owners or product or scrum masters helping us in assigning which issue we're going to work on, we can have that done here. Because we are a self-organizing team, I'm going to go ahead and click on an issue, and me myself, I'm going to assign that to myself. So now I've assigned it to myself. I'm going to start working on that. I'm going to move it in progress. Let's say a couple other people on the team have done that as well. Dan did it. He moves over to in progress. We can see that DT has the ability as well to move that over and start working on progress. So right now, both Dan and I have started working on our issues. If I were to click on mine, again, you can tell there's no weight on it originally. I'll say, hey, this is a weight of, let's give it 15. This is a pretty heavy changes or additions that need to be made. You do have the ability to add different lanes based on how your organization moves issues or user stories through the process. This is very simple: in progress and review, and then there is a closed over here. And so once we're going, if I just move it over to review, it's going to automatically update that tag from in progress to review. If maybe we have it in testing or different lanes that are different naming conventions that we want to be a part of the lanes that the process, the workflow that issue goes through, you can do so. Now, if we want to go take a look at the team board and see who's working on what, we can do so over in the team board view. And we can see that the issues that I assigned to myself and Dan was assigned as well are showing here. So if I'm a scrum master and I'm taking a look at the team, seeing what they're working at, wanting to check on their progress, I can see what issues they're working on in this board. And you've already seen a couple of these issues have technical risk around them. That's because we built a technical risk board with some labels of high, medium, and low. And you can move those over left to right, give them a technical risk if that's what your organization is doing, and it applies it to that issue. I'm going to go back to the dev board. We're going to come back here in a second. One thing I do want to note is I want to show you milestones, and this is how GitLab defines its start and end and for specific time increments. What we've done, we've built out 6 different sprints here so that we can give it a 2-week sprint time, and then we can, as you just saw, assign those issues to specific sprints so we can monitor that. And then you have the ability to go inside that sprint and have visibility into a burn down chart that's going to be based on issue or issue weight. Not a lot's been done yet inside this sprint, so it's not going to be trending down quite yet. You do have labels where you can create these labels here. You've seen that's how we've been doing our organization. So you could create those labels here, and that's how we built out our board views. If I Now, I had talked about I assigned this issue to myself and I need to start working on it. I'm going to go into the issue, and this is where I'll have information more specific to the issue, where there could be collaboration done. We can have comments from different people saying, hey, this is needed, some banter back and forth to get to the finished product that we want. But this is now where I'm tying that SCM and that CI/CD to that project management piece. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to create a merge request. And what this is going to do is it's going to check out a branch off of our master branch. And then the developer, can begin working and making changes to that code that needs to be changed or fixed, or additional code added. And I can do that on this checked out branch. I can either just copy and paste this our git command here and go inside my terminal or IDE. I can do it there, or inside of GitLab we have a web IDE that you can use from here. And what this is going to do, it's going to pull the source code files, and then you'll be able to go into that specific code that you want to change. You can do that. Let's say I was coming in here and this is very simple demo, so I'm just changing, making a change to my code. I'm going to go ahead and commit that, stage that, give it a commit message, and then I'm going to commit to that branch that I just checked out. And once I do that, what it's going to do is it's going to kick off a pipeline. We'll see it's pending right here. See, I have a couple pipelines already running. If I were to go into that pipeline, let's give it a second here. You can see that the pipeline's kicking off the build. We have several different stages and jobs that are being or that are going to run through that we've set up. We've done this using a YAML file that we've set up our build, test, review, dynamic security, performance stages in, and added some jobs to those, like code quality, container scanning, dependency scanning, static analysis, some unit testing. It's going to kick off a review app here once it runs through these tests, and then we can take a look at those changes that have been made to that code, and we can make sure that's really what we wanted. If I were to go in here and let's take a look at a pipeline that has run already. This one is ran through all its different jobs. It's done the review app, and so if we go to that, just go to my merge request. We can see that it's done a couple things for us. It's gone through. It's done a code quality check. A code quality check. It's done some security scanning. If I wanted to see if there's vulnerabilities, and there were, it'd give me a running list. Or I could do a view a full report. It'd give me some patches to apply if it found that there was a fix for some of those vulnerabilities. It's done license management detection. Down here, I can see that there's been several changes that have been made. It's going to do the diffs on that and show that to me. Commits, how many commits? There's only been one. It's going to show the pipelines that have ran, if they passed, if they failed. And then, as I talked about, it's going to give me that review app, which I'll be able to check the changes on that and make sure it's good to go. And once I believe it's good to go, I'll have the ability to delete that source branch and then go ahead and merge that. And once I click merge to master, or I click merge, and it's going to merge it to master, it's going to also kick off another pipeline that's going to do some checks as well before it merges that into master. Once this is merged into master, it will close the issue that's associated with it, so you don't have to worry about going back and closing that issue. So this has been just a very high level or very medium to high level quick how to do agile project management. You're doing your issue planning, you're creating your epics, and you're setting up the structure of your subgroups, or sorry, your groups and your agile groups that are falling underneath your different value streams or specialties. We're going in, we're building out our product backlog with issues, we're doing our sprint planning, assigning issues to sprints, and then your team is coming in and they are picking those issues and they're working on them. They're creating merge or pull requests from that branch that they're checking out from master, and then they're going in and making the changes that are necessary. They are using the SEM built into GitLab to get their code from the repository, make the changes. Once they commit and push those changes, then it's going to kick off that auto DevOps pipeline using that CI/CD piece part of GitLab, and then they're able to see if it's passed or failed based on the stages and jobs that they built inside that YAML file that helps kick off that CI/CD process, or that auto DevOps process, and then get those results almost immediately, but very quickly, and being able to, if it's a failure, going back and making changes that need to be made. If it's passed, just merging that into master. Appreciate your time. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Thanks.